Well, new parents, or prospective ones, are inundated with advice about how to raise their small children. Well, here's some more. Parents need to pay attention to their infants. Seems like common sense, doesn't it? But you might be surprised how many children don't get enough. The brain is the least developed organ at birth when we have about 100 billion nerve cells, most of them unconnected. I went to St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center recently to observe a program that educates parents on their child's needs.
Oh, a baby will pay attention to this because they can actually see it better.
Landon is 7 weeks old. He's attracted to a rattle his father is moving across his line of sight. Audrey is 6 weeks old. She's gazing at herself in a mirror.
Babies love faces. So they love looking at your face and they love looking at their own faces. You guys will see when you learn about eyes in the workshop, children zone into faces.
Rachel Lamb, the program coordinator for the New Directions Institute, is demonstrating a brain box for Audrey and Landon's parents. This brain box consists of a number of everyday items that encourage healthy brain development for children under a year old. It's a way to encourage parents to interact with their infants. It might seem commonsensible that parents should talk and play with their children and hold them, yet it doesn't always happen. Audrey and Landon are very lucky they have involved and loving parents.
When you're sharing the book with a baby just like that, you're bonding with him, he's feeling secure, and that bagel part that Eloisa talked about, that's wiring up right now.
These children, seen in an ABC investigative report, grew up in Romanian orphanages. When the Romanian dictator was overthrown in 1989, there were 150,000 children in deprived conditions. Many would be unattended for nearly a day. They were emotionally and developmentally disabled. Observers would soon realize how debilitating such neglect would be to children.
And I do see children that have been neglected, and they don't develop in the same way. We've known for a long time that children that don't receive as much attention, that don't have good bonding with their parents for different reasons. Maybe sometimes the mother didn't want to be pregnant and doesn't devote as much attention to the infant. And those children don't develop as well. And when you take those children and put them in an environment where they get that kind of attention, they do begin to develop and blossom.
What has amazed scientists the most is how fast and how rapid a child's brain develops that first year of life. Okay, it's not like a child's heart, which is a fully developed organ. It's just a mini replica of an adult's heart. But the brain is not finished yet. And just to put it in perspective at how fast it's growing that first year, if your baby's body grew as fast as his brain, your baby would weigh 170 pounds by the time it was 1.
Parents and caregivers are attending a free workshop, Wired for Success, at St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center. It's also being presented by the New Directions Institute, a nonprofit organization. It was research into the experience of the Romanian orphanages that led to the creation of the Institute by ASU professor Dr. Jill Stamm, the author of Bright from the Start. New Directions focuses on the needs of the child.
We have the steps, and these are the steps that were developed by Jill Stamm. And the first one is security and touch, then eyes and play and sound. And these are the simple steps that parents can do and they can use at home to help their child develop a healthy brain. So the main one out of all of those is security. Children need to feel secure. They need to know that they are loved. They need to know that someone's going to be there to meet their needs. And when they feel secure, then they can go on to learn other things. But children, like the children in Romania who didn't have that love, who didn't have that security, they had to like nurture themselves and comfort themselves. And you know, that had a big effect on how their brain developed.
I was very excited when I saw the material that Dr. Stamm has put together in the program, because it's nothing new. I know, I've always told parents, you know, every time a little baby smiles at you, sometimes people say, oh, it's just gas, but you smile back and it forms certain synapses in the brain, and the wiring starts developing. That smile starts meaning something. Every little thing like that. So I've always known, intuitively maybe, also from a lot of my studies and reading, that all those interactions are important.
Audrey and Landon are constantly growing, constantly learning. Because of the attention given to them by their parents, they should grow into healthy, happy, and inquisitive children. It might seem a simple idea, but it could very well be the most important thing in a child's life.
I was talking to my husband about it, and yeah, we read to our kids. We talk, you narrate the daily events. Sometimes, you go out to the grocery store and you're just with your infant child, but you talk about what you're doing. And those kind of interactions, as unimportant as it may seem at the time, and I think parents know how important it is because they can see when things are working, they can see the child responding. You know when it's going over their head because you lose their attention. But what you're looking for is, making that eye-to-eye contact with the infant or child, whatever age, and when you're doing something right. So you try different things with them, and it's all basic stuff, attention.